rolling.
Hey, welcome to Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches. I'm Richard.
I'm Noah.
And you might be seeing Studio Dog here. And we're coming to you again from our secret alternate location.
Merry Christmas the 2nd.
This is probably going to be our close to Christmas episode.
This will be.
Yeah,
This
all
will
right.
be.
So-
I know the... Oh!
Hey, Studio Dog made his appearance.
It's within the first 30 seconds of recording.
Yes, well, that's okay. We'll just keep going. So we've been having a conversation, a rolling conversation over the last couple of weeks. And it has really been one asking the question, what makes a Christmas classic? What stories? Why do stories stand out as a Christmas classic? And we just finished talking about a movie that won't be a Christmas classic.
I don't know. Die Hard became a Christmas classic that people watch year after year.
Yeah,
but
this is true.
if people, I've seen a lot of people going on being like, "All right, move over, Die Hard." Violent.
Okay, so have you seen the Advent calendar, which is
Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, the what's the character's name? Klaus.
Yeah.
The guy falling, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you've got little Alan Rickman that counts off the days to Christmas as he falls off the side of the building. That's hysterical. I want one. Your mom will probably not let me put it on display in the house. I'll have to put it in the store.
Tangent conversation aside.
But that's how these conversations always go. If there's one rabbit hole, there's 100, and we go down them
We
all,
go down
right?
every single one. This is another spitball episode.
So
what makes a Christmas classic?
And the show that we always go back to, or the story that we always go back to, is How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah. The
Right.
Dr. Seuss classic. The Seussian classic.
The Seussian classic.
I don't know if that's trademarked, but if it's not, I trademarked that.
The Seussian classic.
Yeah, the Seussian. Just Seussian.
Right. Yes.
No.
Yes. I got it.
And not the Jim Carrey version.
No, we're talking about the cartoon.
Or the book.
Well, I love the book.
Yeah,
I
the book's
absolutely
fantastic.
love the book.
And the book is an absolute classic.
And I read the book every year at Christmas time. I used to read it to you kids every year at Christmas. And I don't know if you remember or not, but I just absolutely love reading that book. I just throw myself into it because it's fun. It is just absolutely fun. And I love the character of the Grinch.
Yeah.
For the very same reason that I love Ebenezer Scrooge. And let's face it.
You know what? I have existed on this earth for 26 years and I never made that connection. I'm ashamed of myself. All right, bye.
Wow. I
never
have
made that connection.
failed you as a parent. So the Grinch is Scrooge in children form. I mean, it just is. Except the Grinch doesn't have, the spiritual aspect of the ghosts and all the trips down the past. And the Grinch, we don't know, and we never get to know why he's so sour on Christmas and why he's so Grinchy at the beginning of it. We just accept that he is.
And again, stories don't need that. I think that's something that modern media, it's almost something that Violent Night did right. We don't need these origins.
No,
you don't need an origin for every single character. You don't need the tragic backstory for every single character. For some, it's fine. For others, you don't need it. We, as the audience, we can fill it in. And if you leave an air of mystery around it, it's like, how could someone become this sour towards Christmas?
Well,
it just adds to the story, and it gives you more to ponder, and it gives you more from what you're reading and or watching.
If you get too far down the rabbit hole of psychological analysis, bad childhood, alcoholic father, drug, you're just going to ruin the magic of just a guy who's bad turns good.
Yeah.
In A Christmas Carol, you get that trip to the past. You get to see Ebenezer Scrooge's life. You get to see how it all came about. And
but in Ebenezer Scrooge's case, he's like, he's not out to destroy Christmas, but he is actively hurting other people.
He is
with his actions, and it helps you understand
Yes.
the character and why he would become so numb and blind to the suffering of others.
Well, with Scrooge, and I think there's a tremendous amount of just surface portrayals of Scrooge that are two-dimensional.
Yeah.
And that they don't really explore how deeply the heartbreak of lost love
Yeah.
and the danger of greed, right? I mean, the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money, not possessing money, but the love of money is the root of all. And the love of money led to, ultimately, that heartbreak and that loss. And then once the loss of the love of his life took place, then, then you see that path, goes right down.
But you don't need that with the Grinch.
You don't need it. No, in fact, the Grinch is wonderful without it. And the Grinch,
it's fantastic.
Well, the Grinch does this the same thing in the book that we were talking about. Violent Night does in it that it doesn't explain it all. It just says we don't know. In the movie, it's all it's the magic of Christmas. In the book, it says no one quite knows the reason. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. In
classic Seuss fashion. He just is like, it's goofy, it's zany, but he also just doesn't let you know. It's the same thing with if you look at some of Seuss's other works, like the Lorax. Mm-hmm. Probably my favorite Dr. Seuss work is the Lorax. But he does, it's just...
We were driving in St. Joe when you were, 2 or 3 at the most. And we pulled into a gas station, and do you remember the old 2-door blue Tercel that we had? All right. So I'm pumping gas, and you are standing on the island of the gas station, shouting to all the traffic, I am the Lorax, I speak for the cars! And I so wish I could have had that recorded. You were so cute. We're going to have to insert a picture of you at age 3. You were just...
It is a Christmas special. The embarrassing family stories get brought.
But you were talking about the Lorax, I'm sorry.
That train of thought
should go right out the window,
he does this all the time. He has, you get lost in the
lyrical poetry.
Exactly.
Yes.
He covers up, whatever the issue might be. You don't know why the Grinch is so evil with
everything.
His shoes are too tight, or he's got termites in his teeth, Mr.
I think that was the song.
It is the song. Yeah. It is the song. Another reason why it's it's a classic.
Well, no, the reason I think why it is a classic, and I think why A Christmas Carol stands the test of time, and let's face it, it does.
It does.
A Christmas Carol has been copied and covered and redone over and over and over again because it's a redemption story. And if there's anything that we like as humans, we like a redemption story.
We like a good redemption story.
We like to see the bad guy become good, and if we see a good guy who falls, we like to see them come back.
Yep.
And but we want it to be a legitimate one. We don't need the you get an actor or an actress who went off the rails and they do something stupid and they disappear for a while, and then give enough time.
Yep.
And now here's the cynicism. Everything can be forgiven in the entertainment industry if it's a vehicle that's going to make someone a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then all it takes is a couple of well-placed interviews on talk shows where they give a redemption story.
Yep.
They talk about the donations that they've made. They talk about the classes that they've taken. They say something apologetic. And then suddenly an axe-wielding puppy killer is,
Yeah.
back headlining at the local theater.
Yep.
And that's not the kind of redemption story we want to see.
Yeah. And it's like sometimes it's legitimate.
It could be, yeah.
If, if it feels, legitimate and real. But, for the feel-good story, and you're right, the Grinch nails it because it's not, no one convinces him to give it all back or anything. He's cynical because he sees consumerism. Essentially,
well,
he sees people like bustling about and getting. It's noisy. It's loud. It's obnoxious. It is a commentary on the consumer nature of Christmas and advertisements and stuff. But then the meaning behind Christmas, and obviously the
joy of the original story, because it's not anything other than the Who's continuing to celebrate without the trappings. Right?
Yeah. You quoted the book. Yeah.
I did quote the book.
Yeah.
It's everything in my power not to start reciting it from memory because I absolutely love it. And so here's the other thing. One of the reasons why I like it, one of the elements of a Christmas Carol that How the Grinch Stole Christmas has. If you smile while you're reading the Grinch's dialogue, it's delicious. It's fun.
The face you just made.
It is
looks like it belongs on the Grinch.
Well, no, I mean,
I bet you're picturing that one face.
Well, no, I don't actually picture it. I kind of just embody it, and then I used to be very, very cynical about the holidays. I went through a period where I really, really didn't like them, and I'll be totally honest with you. Having kids changed that for me. It really did. But if you smile while you're reading the Grinch's dialogue, it's wonderful. It is wonderful. I understand why some actors really like to play villains, because you can just dive into this deliciously, delightfully wicked character. Even if you don't feel that way as a person, you can just get lost in it for a while. It's a little bit of performance escapism.
He's almost got his own charisma, the Grinch does.
Oh, he does!
The character has his own charisma. And again, it's the magic of Seuss describing in his beautiful poetry.
Yes.
And in a way that a kid can understand. And an adult can enjoy.
Oh yeah, it gets better every year that I read it.
Yeah,
and so the scene that from A Christmas Carol that always comes to mind, which brings out all of that in Ebenezer Scrooge, is when the charity collectors come in stave 1, where it's Christmas Eve and he utters that line that gets quoted so often. Let them die then and decrease the surplus population.
Sorry, we just got done watching Violent Night. My dark humor is like all the way up.
Well, these are the things. These are the things to go to believe to be so vacant of humanity as to believe that poor people should just die.
Yeah.
To giving it all away and getting the biggest turkey and bringing it to Bob Cratchit's house and everything. That's just that train of thought just went onto a siding, and I wasn't.
It's just it's a Christmas message.
It is. It's wonderful,
and that's something. All these new every year there's a new cartoon about Christmas, and it's like, yeah, sure, it entertains the kids a little bit, but these things aren't going to become Christmas classics unless they have that message of Christmas, of it's giving back, it's being with family, it's not about the presents.
Well,
it's about the spirit that surrounds the holiday, whether you're religious or not. The spirit that surrounds the peace on earth and goodwill towards all men.
Yes,
I think the Grinch gets that because.
Oh, sure.
He I mean, he does get it at the end when he sees that they didn't need all the fluff.
Right.
The fluff is just, it's icing on the cake.
Yes.
It literally is.
Yes.
And
so you know the tinsel, the trappings, we had to set the store up for Christmas this year in early November. We've had Christmas trees up and Christmas music playing and lights up, and we don't have as much around the house. And you know our house.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have 7 or 8 trees up. We've got decorations. We love Christmas. The house was made for Christmas. We've got 2 up, and I'm quite happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite happy with that, and I don't have any music playing.
Yeah.
I need the peace and the simplicity of the message. And when I get home, I need to be away from the commercialism trappings of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be so easy to get lost in this stuff if you don't keep yourself rooted. We're a business. We need to sell things in order, right? We need to.
Yeah.
So we decorate. We make it inviting. We welcome people into the store. I love meeting people. I love seeing people. But it's not pure greed.
Yeah.
Right. But I need, when I get home, to be away from all of the commercialism. And I need to. That's why we set up the tree and we put all the family ornaments. Your mom was incredible back when you were a toddler, even earlier, your first year, when she hand painted that ornament for you. And she's made sure, my wife made sure that every year the kids get a personalized ornament. So you have 25 or 26 ornaments. Your brother has 20. You know, and it's wonderful. Those are the ones that are important.
Yeah.
Right. Some of them are handmade, and to just get away from the commercialism side of it. And what makes a Christmas classic? Well, it's not, do Han and Chewie get back in time for Christmas to the Endor moon? It's not. You can have the Ewok Christmas.
You went
special
there.
Day. Well,
you went there.
I don't even know if that actually happened in any of those things.
Did.
But okay, so you get those Christmas stories. Those will never be Christmas classics because they don't have that saving, redemptive quality to them, and I think that's what makes it.
Yeah,
that's what makes it work.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
And of all the versions of A Christmas Carol that I like and like the most, probably Bill Murray's Scrooge, because it's got that delightfully dark edge to it, and that classic line. You're going to have to do a better job of bleeping. Hit me with a toaster. It's just hysterical. It's like, oh my goodness. The ghost. Okay, the Marley character getting shot and then taking a drink of whiskey and having it on the holes in his body. The classic cartoon gag come to life.
This was supposed to be a Grinch episode, but now we're
but the two are so closely related, and what's going to make a Christmas classic? Well, it's the redemption story.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, you've got the Christmas story from the Christian perspective, and let's say, where does the name Christmas come from? Is not a redemption story of an individual.
No.
And it's ultimately it's a redemption story for mankind. Mm-hmm. But it takes a whole lot longer to tell than Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But the redemption of the individual is what makes it. So there you go. That's why it works.
Yeah.
Even if it's a green fuzzy guy who has bad teeth.
That's it.
So beyond Christmas Carol, beyond the Grinch, favorite Christmas show?
Ooh, hey,
ooh, we're good. We're
not
good.
bad, not
We're
bad. It's
Studio
okay.
Dog offers his 2 cents.
Yep. I think it's the old Rankin and Bass stuff. I love Rudolph.
Okay.
I love the original Rudolph.
Right.
And you know, there's a couple others. Of course, Year Without a Santa Claus has the great feud between the Heat and
the Heat Miser and the Snow Miser.
class.
Mr. Heat Miser.
Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic song. Yeah, but I also am a sucker for stop motion.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Except for Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't like that one.
I've never seen it.
It was overhyped for me, and I knew it would be overhyped because people have been telling me for well over a decade to go watch it. I finally watched it this year. Overhyped for me in terms it's on Disney Plus. You can go watch it. It's Halloween and Christmas. It's meant to be like a 2-in-1.
Right.
So I can see why people like it, but I'm like, eh.
I don't like the animation. The animation
it's Tim Burton stop motion.
Yeah, I know. And it just, I looked at it and it's just like, man, I don't want to sit and watch that. I don't like watching the Rugrats. There's people who loved that show, Rugrat. I hated the animation. It was unpleasant to look at.
But yeah, Rudolph, I think Rudolph, and maybe some of the other Rankin and Bass ones. There's the really funny one. It was a bonus. It's Rudolph Saves the New Year.
Oh, I remember that.
He has to go. He has to go save the baby New Year.
Okay.
It was. I actually like that. It's not a Christmas one. It's New Year. So.
Right.
Maybe I'll do that for. Maybe we'll do that for New Year's some year. But before we wrap this episode up, in the spirit of Christmas, have something that I have been sitting on for a while. So, Merry Christmas, your very own, let's see if we get this up here, Hulk from your favorite movie, Thor Ragnarok. Christmas ornament. I have been saving that to get, Mom gave me that to give to you on camera, and I have been saving that for this episode.
Well, thank you. I will take this home, and I will find a place of honor on the backside of the tree for it. But I will make sure that this gets hung on the tree tonight. If you are new to Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches, then you probably won't appreciate the inside joke on this. Our very first episode that we did was me explaining why I hate Thor Ragnarok and why I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
There's the iCard somewhere. I think it's up there.
Well, thank you very much. I'll be sure to thank your mom.
And thank you all for coming and watching this Christmas special. What are some of your favorite Christmas specials? Join us at the non-existent table discussion in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get more of these conversations in your YouTube feed.
And have a very Merry Christmas. Have a blessed, safe, Happy New Year.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Did she really tell you on camera?
Yeah, yes, she did. Yes, she did.
That's hysterical.